This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes, creators of the world's best repair manuals. Fix your car or truck the right way with our accurate and reliable information at your side. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete online manual at Haynes.com.
Chock the front wheels. Loosen the rear wheel bolts, then raise the rear of the vehicle and support it on jack stands. Remove the rear wheels. While the wheels are removed, reinstall at least one wheel bolt to each hub to ensure that the brake discs remain correctly positioned on the hubs. With the parking brake lever fully released, detach the parking brake cable retaining clips. Unscrew and remove the caliper guide pin bolts, counter-holding the guide pins with an open-end wrench to prevent them from rotating. Discard the guide pin bolts. New bolts must be used on refitting. Lift the caliper away from the brake pads and tie it to the suspension strut using a suitable piece of wire. Do not allow the caliper to hang by the brake hose. Remove the brake pads from the caliper mounting bracket. Carefully clean the pad locations in the caliper body and mounting bracket. Brush the dust and dirt from the caliper and piston, but do not inhale it, as it is harmful. Inspect the dust seal around the piston for damage, and the piston for evidence of fluid leaks, corrosion, or damage. Prior to installing the pads, check that the guide pins are free to slide easily into the caliper bracket, and check that the rubber guide pin boots are undamaged. If new brake pads are to be installed, it will be necessary to retract the piston fully into the caliper bore by rotating it and pressing the piston in at the same time, using a special retraction tool. If this tool cannot be obtained, a pair of needle nose pliers can be used in the same manner. As this is done, the fluid in the master cylinder reservoir will rise, so make sure that it doesn't overflow. If necessary, use a syringe or suction gun to remove the needed brake fluid. Do not reuse old brake fluid upon refilling. Use only new brake fluid of the specified type. Where applicable, peel the protective sheet from the new brake pad backing plates, then install the pads in the mounting bracket, making sure that the friction material is facing the brake disc. Slide the caliper back into position over the pads, making sure that the pad anti-rattle springs are correctly positioned against the inner surface of the caliper body and are not jammed in the inspection aperture. Press the caliper into position, then install the new guide pin bolts. Tighten them to the specified torque when retaining the guide pins with an open-ended wrench. Attach the parking brake cable to the frame at the necessary retaining points. Tighten the bolts securely. Repeat the above procedure on the remaining rear brake caliper. Depress the brake pedal repeatedly to force the pads into firm contact with the discs. Once normal pedal feel has returned, check that the discs rotate freely. Reinstall the wheels and wheel bolts. Then lower the vehicle and tighten the bolts to the specified torque. Check the brake fluid level. If necessary, add the specified type of new brake fluid to bring up the level to the max mark. New pads will not give full braking efficiency until they have been bedded in. Be prepared for this and avoid hard braking as much as possible for the first 100 miles or so after pad replacement.